Satyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake Durlabhamanasha Deho Dehinam Shanabhangure Tatrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikuntha Priya Darshinaha Nivritta Tarshe Upagiyamana Bhavo Shada Chotra Manobhirama Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvada Uman Virajyet Vina Pashuknat Jai Śrī Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Guruve Gaur Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Hare Kṛṣṇa Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna, dear wonderful devotees, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, chapter number 1, and we read yesterday to text number 7, I believe. So all these verses are spoken by Srila, the first few verses rather, Parikshit Maharaj, who is talking about the glories of Krishna Katha, how it is so important for any sane person who does not want to kill one's own self, Ashuganath, must take this wonderful nectarian, ambrosial process of bhakti, and in that the most important is the Shotra Manobhiraman, to remember Krishna through the process of hearing. And Parikshit Maharaj is exemplifying that or epitomizing that as per. So we will continue to read the following verses. I think yesterday we stopped in the middle discussing about this verse 5 to 7. So let's go a little bit more in detail. A devotee is always very, very grateful to the Lord. Here Parikshit Maharaj is expressing his gratitude towards his grandparents, his gratitude to Krishna towards his grandparents, how he protected from the mighty warriors like Devrata, etc. Duratyayayam, it was very, very difficult for them to cross over these mighty warriors which were like the ocean. But Krishna made that ocean into a hoofprint of water. Drauni Astra. Anyone can tell? What does Drauni Astra refer to here?
Ashwatthama.
Ashwatthama's Astra. Drauni refers to Ashwatthama, the son of Drauna, and Astra refers to Drauna, the son of Drauna's Astra, referring to what is the word?
Brahmastra.
The Brahmastra. Viplushtam idam mad angam. Mad anga means body, right? It was charged towards mad angam. Who is speaking this? Who is speaking this verse? Yes, Sampana?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj. So it was charged towards Parikshit Maharaj when he was in the womb of his mother, Uttara. Santana bijam kuru pandavanam. Bij means the seed. So Parikshit Maharaj had not taken birth, but he was in the embryo, in the gestation period, in the mother's womb. So in the seed form, still the body had not come out. So Drauni Astra wanted to kill the seed of Kuru and Pandava. It was the last child. And interestingly, Mata Kunti, I was reading this, same word comes, Drauni Astra Chamsa Hare Birakshita. Mata Kunti is also in Canto 1 of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, remembering how Krishna saved in different scenarios. Vishan Magne Purushada Darshanad Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krichrita Mride Aneka Mahārathastato Dranye Astrataschasme Hare Bhirakshita. So Mata Kunti is remembering how Krishna protected from the Maha-Agni, from the Asat Sabha, from the Draupadi's Vastraharn going on, from the Maharathastra. So many different weapons were used, so many different rathis were there, from the Drauni Astras. A devotee is always saying, expressing his or her gratitude to the Supreme Lord. If we try to see the hand of God, we will see how Krishna is protecting us. So here Parikshit Maharaj is also expressing a lot of gratitude, how Krishna protected, and basically doing the remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Jugo Pakukshim Gata Atat Chakro, who was holding the chakra in his disc, in his hand, the disc in his hand. Ukshim refers to the womb. When Ashwatthama, when Parikshit was in the womb, Lord Krishna came. And Mata Uttara also said, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpati Nanyam Tuad Abhayam Pashya Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Please protect me. Then Krishna came with this, who holds Ata Chakrau Matuscha Me Ya Sharanam Gataya. Who was the Matu?
Uttara.
Who was the Mata here?
Uttara.
Uttara. So Uttara spoke this verse, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, basically taking Sharanam, taking shelter. When we take shelter, Krishna is always there to protect. So when his Mata, that is Uttara, took shelter of the one who holds the disc in his hand, referring to Lord Krishna. Viryani Tasya Akhila Deha Bhajam. Virya means here glories. Sampada knows a verse about the 6 glories. Aishwaryasya Samagrasya. You know that? Lakshay remembers? You all? Aishwaryasya Samagrasya Viryasya Yashasha Shriya Jnana Vairagyascha Eva Shannam Bhaga Itim Gana. So all the kids or those or even the adults, we should make a diary or some way we should record all those verses which we are trying to learn, which we learned 1 month back, 2 months back, 1 year back. We should revise those. Otherwise, the nature of the mind is out of sight, out of mind. So periodically, after every month or every 2 months, we should revise. Otherwise, we will forget those. So virya, again, the glories or the heroic qualities. Tasya akhila. We should Antar Bahira Purusha Kala Rupaha. Ito Narshinga, Parato Narshinga, Bahir Narshinga, Hridaya Narshinga. He's inside, outside. Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prayit Chato Mrityum Utamritam Cha. Maya Manushyasya Vadasva Vidvan. Maya Manushyasya. So beautiful word. He acts ordinarily like a many times acts like an ordinary human being, but he is not an ordinary human being. He appears as an ordinary human being, but he is transcendental. The Vidvan, the learned, describe him like that. So in this way, we can try to remember these wonderful shlokas. We'll go to now text number 8. We covered 7. Rohinyastanya prokto Rama Sankarshanastvaya Devakya Garbha Sambandha Kuto Dehantaram Vina. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Shukadev Goswami, you have already explained that Sankarshana, who belongs to the second quadruple, appeared as the son of Rohini, named Balaram. If Balaram was not transferred from one body to another, how is it possible that he was first in the womb of Devaki and then in the womb of Rohini? Kindly explain this to me. Purport. Here is the question particularly directed at understanding Balaram, who is Sankarshana himself. Balaram is well known as the son of Rohini, yet it is also known that he was the son of Devaki. Parikshit Maharaj wanted to understand the mystery of Balaram being the son of Devaki, both Devaki and Rohini. Hare Krishna. So quite straightforward here. Basically, every verse, so every chapter of Bhagavatam also is a dialogue, is a question and answer. Parikshit Maharaj is asking questions all the way till text number, all these first few verses until actually text number 13. The first 13 verses are basically his deep desire, eagerness, humility. Kindly explain this to me, requesting. Right? We discussed this difference between request and order. He's not ordering, hey, you have to tell this to me because I am very intelligent. He's requesting. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. What's the next line? Somebody, you remember this one? 434, Bhagavad Gita.
Updeshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. We should approach a spiritual master, as we discussed, Nivritta Tarshi Upagiyamana, and approach, humbly inquire, humbly request, kindly explain this to me. What are the words used here? Kindly explain this to me about this Lord Balaram, how he was transferred from womb of Devaki to Rohini. So the Parikshit Maharaj is requesting Srila Shukadeva Goswami to speak this. So let's see. Any other comments anyone has? Or we move to the next. So who didn't get chance yesterday, maybe they can read first, and then if you have time, we'll read more. They will keep it a little short than usual. Yes, Nandini Mataji, please.
Standard Pranam devotees. Text 9. Kasman mukundo bhagavan pitu garhad vrajam gataha kwa vasam nyati bhi sardham krutavan satvadan patihi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Why did Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, leave the house of his father Vasudeva and transfer himself to the house of Nanda in Vrindavan? Where did the Lord, the master of the Yadu dynasty, live with his relatives in Vrindavan? These are inquiries about the itinerary of Krishna. Just after his birth in the house of Vasudeva in Mathura, Krishna transferred himself to Gokula on the other side of the Yamuna. And after some days, he moved with his father, mother, and other relatives to Nandagram, Vrindavan. Maharaj Parikshit was very much eager to hear about Krishna's activities in Vrindavan. This entire canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is full of can you please scroll down? Full of activities performed in Vrindavan and Dwarka. The first 40 chapters describe Krishna's Vrindavan affairs, and the next 50 chapters describe Krishna's activities in Dwarka. Maharaj Parikshit, to fulfill his desire to hear about Krishna, requested Shukadeva Goswami to describe these activities in full detail. So we see his eagerness and also inquisitiveness. Like he is very eager to hear in detail. So So this is a person who has been hungry and thirsty, like who is fasting for last 4 days at least, and so inquisitive, so curious, so absorbed in knowing about Krishna, how he went to Gokula, how he went to the Vrindavan, how he went from Vasudeva and Devaki's house to, to Mother Yashoda's house, and so on. Please add, Prabhu. Back to you. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you so much. So, in the, I think, previous chapter, there was some brief description of Krishna's, pastimes. If we go to chapter 9, we will see there is some mention of Lord's birth, how he was born. There is certainly some mention. But a devotee wants to hear in great detail, not just a glimpse or a summary, but in great detail. Yeah. In the end of chapter 9, there is a brief mention about all these. Krishna's appearance was there. So 90 chapters in Canto 10 are dedicated exclusively for pure Krishna Katha. His pastimes in Raja, Mathura, etc. And that's the way to develop love to Krishna. Because in ordinary parlance, if someone has attraction toward, let's say, a singer or a cricketer, football player, basketball player, any musician, Hollywood, Bollywood, they want to know, right? They want to know where he was born, how he spent his childhood, right? We don't want to know that. But if we have, like we read Prabhupada Lila-Amrit, we read about his great, okay, where was he born, where he spent his childhood, where he did his business, how was it youth, when did he meet his spiritual master, when did he come to US, what did he do, how, So, but everyone, because we have that desire. In the ordinary world also, people want to know about famous people or, their so-called models, whether it's a cricketer, whether it's some other personality. They want to know how they were born, which school they went, where did they used to play, why they moved from one city to the other, isn't it? Does it make sense? Do you want to know? What do you think? You want to know, right? So the pure devotees want to know about Krishna. Why he moved from one city to the other? What was the reason? Why he left his Mathura to came back? He left his father's place, came to Vrindavan in the home of Nanda Maharaj, and why they kept moving. So all those reasons will come, like when Shukdev Goswami is going to explain. All these are basically questions. If you see, they're ending with a question: Kasman, Kwa. All these are questions. Why, where. So let's see the next one. Next number 9. We read that one. So let's read 10. Raghu Prabhu, you want to read?
Thank you. Hare Krishna devotees. Text 10. Rajev Vasan Kim Akaran Madhu Puryam Cha Kesavaha Prataram Cha Vadit Kamsam Matur Adatad Arahanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Lord Krishna lived both in Vrindavana and in Mathura. What did he do there? Why did he kill Kamsa? his mother's brother. Such killing is not at all sanctioned in the Shastras. Purport. One's maternal uncle, the brother of one's mother, is on the level of one's father. When a maternal uncle has no son, his nephew legally inherits his property. Therefore, why did Krishna directly kill Kamsa, the brother of his mother? Maharaj Parikshit was very much inquisitive about the facts in this regard. So this straightforward, Parikshit Maharaj is asking more questions. He wants to know about Kamsa, and he's after all the mother's brother, so why did he kill him? And yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So, yes, more questions. So it certainly appears that Parikshit Maharaj had been hearing about the Supreme Lord from his parents, grandparents, elders, and others also. But now he is in front to front at the last phase of his life, just the last 3 days left. Just think about, in the last 3 days of one's life, what kind of questions one will ask, isn't it? One will ask, oh, are my children okay? Are my grandchildren okay? Is my money in safe hands? Everyone will be able to take care in my absence. I'm going to leave, and right? That's a common. People will do that. They will not ask, oh, okay, let me tell more, or please tell me more about Krishna. Last 2 days of his life, practically 2.5, 3 days, whatever, out of the 7 days, 4+ days are already done. But his mind, his consciousness is completely on Krishna, isn't it? Therefore, he's asking questions about Krishna. There's a very, very nice verse. Muneya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhe loka mangalam yat Krishna samsparshno. So Sutta Goswami is telling, Muneya, search that verse, sadhu prishtoham. Muneya sadhu prishtoham, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 5. That you have asked questions. Everyone is asking questions throughout the life, throughout, from morning to night, everyone is asking questions only. The day begins with question, the day ends with question. Will I get my food? Where will I get my food? When will I get the job? How much salary I'll get? When will this happen? When will that happen? When will, everyday question. The bird also asks question. Where should I go? Will my children be okay? Where should I build a nest? Everyone. But what is Sutta Goswami saying? Muneya sadhu prishtobham bhavadbher loka mangalam yat krita Krishna samsprashno yen atma suprasidati. Your questions are very worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna, and they are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. So, Srila Sutta Goswami is speaking this to Shaunaka Rishi. That they were not asking questions of when will my health get disease over, when will COVID get over, when will I get a wife, husband, son, daughter, whatever. When will I get the next whatever material desire? When will I get the new phone, new car? No, they were asking questions about Krishna. Here, Parikshit Maharaj is not asking questions about will my family be okay in my absence? Completely attached to Krishna. So, asking questions which are of relevance. Lokamandalam, bhavadbhev lokamandalam, yena atma suprasidati. They not only satisfy the self, but satisfy the whole world. So, wonderful questions asked. For if it would not have been for Parikshit Maharaj, we would have not got a chance to hear Canto 10. and all the nectarian pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Yes, Lakshay, you want to read, please?
Yes, please. Text 11. Deham manusham ashritya kativarshani Vishnabe Yadupuriyam Shashava Tashti Patanya Kati Abhavan Prabha. Translation and purport. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has no material body, yet he appears as a human being. For how many years did he live with the descendants of Vishnu? How many wives did he marry? And for how many years did he live in Dwarka? In many places, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as Satchidananda Vigraha, possessing a spiritual blissful body. His bodily feature is Narakarta Kriti. This is exactly like that of a human being. Here the same idea is repeated in the words Manusham Ashritya, which indicate that he accepts a body exactly like that of a man. Everywhere it is confirmed that Krishna is never Nirakara or formless. He has his form exactly like that of a human being. There is no doubt about this. Hare Kṛṣṇa.
What did you understand, Lakshay Prabhu? Thank you for reading. What is your understanding?
Many people might think since Krishna is transcendental that he might not have no material body, but he has to have one because we have deities kind of like statues or photos. So if he was he didn't have a body, we wouldn't know how he looked, so we wouldn't have statues or photos of him.
Thank you. Thank you for reading and sharing your understanding. So Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. In any form he appears, whether human form, fish form, kurma form, etc., he is transcendental. But his original form is the two-handed form. Man is made in the image of God. Right? We have form, we have two hands, two legs, etc. How can a form come from formless? Does that make sense? Form coming from formless? That does not make sense. Man is made in the image of God. So what is that real thing? Image comes from something, right? There is an image of something. What is that real substance? The Govindam Adi Purusham. He is the original Purusha. He is the original form. And what is that form? The Shyama Sundara, the Tribhanga Lalita, the two-handed form. So yet, whenever he comes here in this material world, he also takes the multiple forms. And when he comes with the Supreme Lord Krishna, he takes a two-handed form. And he may act like an ordinary human being, yet he is transcendental. Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvata tattva deham narjanma naitinam. What is the verse number? Who knows the verse number? This one?
.6 or something.
8.6. You need to have it.
4.9. Sorry.
4.8. 4.7, 4.8, 4.9. All three are
4.9.
close. I think this one is 4.8.
4.9, Prabhuji.
4.9. Janma karma okay.
4.9 sadhanam, 4.8, and the previous one, Jata Jatai, 4.7.
Yes, right. 4.9. Janma karma very nice. Vitarana sadhanam. Yes, all three are very important verses. So 4.7, 8, 9 tell about Krishna's appearance, and all these is transcendental. One who understands this will not take birth again. Satchidananda. And I think Lakshmi used the word statue, or some people use the word idol. So Krishna is actually not idol, he's ideal. And statue remains a statue when there is no love and devotion. The deities will be just some piece of brick, mortar, metal, wood, or whatever the 8 elements, when there is no love and devotion offered by the devotee. Like in the shop, you go to Vrindavan, Mayapur, etc. You may find hundreds of deities there, but they are, they're not actually deities, right? We don't bow them generally. Of course, we respect them, of course, but they're more, they're more like selling like some commodity. When do they become deity? When they're worshipped by the devotee, right? The deities are a medium to express our love and devotion to the Supreme Lord. Then they become Archa Vigraha. Right? When the Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. With Bhakti, when one offers these elements, then Krishna accepts it. So this is the transcendental science of.
So just one question here. Yeah, so the transcendental form is like a human being, right? Is that what we are saying?
Narakriti, yeah.
Okay, so the Mayavadi philosophers, they don't believe in any form. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you sometimes they will say that Nirakar is beyond. They will believe in Krishna, but they will say the Nirgun Nirakar is better than Krishna, is more encompassing than Krishna. Is like the ultimate goal.
Let him complete the question. Yes, what's the question? Is that the question, or you had?
Yeah, no, that was my question. So do they believe in a, they don't believe in a, the Mayavadi philosophers don't believe in a form, do they? That's my, and in case of what we are learning here is that Krishna has a transcendental form, which is like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Two-handed form.
Yes. Yeah, there is like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, they basically call them impersonalist, or they don't believe in the personal form of the Lord. So they say God is inconceivable, or some light, some point, or something. And as well as Bhakti-rasamrita Maharaj was mentioning this point. Why they do so? Because they feel, if I am a person, like I have 2 hands and 2 legs, and if we limit, if we say God is also person, then we are limiting God, right? That's their understanding. Or if I'm saying God is a person and I'm also a person, so no, God has to be something which I am not, right? That's another some people give. Or think, oh, I'm person, God is also person. I'm perishable, God is also perishable. But this the second part of their understanding is not correct as per the Shastras. God is a person. We're also person. But we are product of material nature. But Krishna is Satchidananda Vigraha. Right? His body is not made up of the 5 elements like earth, water, fire, air, ether. He does not come like how we are born in this, moving after cycle of birth and death, moving sometimes pig, sometimes dog, sometimes. He chooses where he wants to be born. None of us chose where I want to be born, which city, which country, which male, female, which family, which, financial status, whatever. We don't choose all that. Krishna chooses. So which shows that all this is transcendental. Janma karma cha me divya. There are so many reasons like that. So, and the personal aspect includes the impersonal aspect. So many times he showed the Virata Rupa, the effulgence, like Lord Chaitanya also showed the effulgence to the Brahmavadis, Mayavadis, etc. Those who want to see that in Varanasi also, who there are a lot of Brahmavadis, Mayavadis there. Lord Chaitanya showed these effulgence because they were attracted to the effulgence of the Lord. So, yes, somebody wanted to say something, please.
I was trying to say, well, it was a question about like some people who I meet, like my cousins, they're kind of like impersonalists. They don't really believe in personal, though they do believe in Krishna, but then they think like Krishna came from some like a very, I don't know, like some impersonal thing. So Krishna came from impersonal thing. And then they also give me some examples, like just like an ocean, there's something like the ocean cannot be it cannot be limited, right? The ocean cannot be limited. So how can you limit the God? How can you even like tell that the God has body? And then one time I told them that like we are the part and parcel of Krishna. So just like the fire is Krishna, and the blaze, the thing is us, right? So they were like, oh, so basically the blazes of the fire, so if it drops somewhere, so even that can create fire. So we're basically something like that. So basically the fire, if the fire is Krishna and the blazes are us, then we can also be God. So I was just like, okay, I don't want to argue about this. So just like,
Yeah, these are all very common conceptions. I was hearing a sweet pastime by, I forgot where I was hearing, but I was hearing His Holiness Giriraj Maharaj one time approached when he was very, very young. He was like just trying to practice Krishna conscious, very young in his Krishna conscious journey. He approached Prabhupada and asked, he did not even take an initiation at that time, was very young in his journey. Who is a true guru? Something like that he asked. I don't remember the exact question. Who is a true guru? Prabhupada replied that it depends. It depends if you want to become a servant of God or if you want to become God. And Giriraj Maharaj was shocked because somehow in his mind he had this idea that we will become God. And he had been, because maybe he had learned somewhere else or someone had must have spoken to him or in his childhood. And he came back to his room, he was sharing this story himself, that how he was, Radhesham Prabhu was telling this, what he had heard from Giriraj Maharaj, yes, now I remember. So how Prabhupada could, see through him and understand just in one conversation that how this idea of becoming God was going on in his mind. So, and the next time Giriraj Maharaj met him, because of, his devotion, his sincerity, he had given up all those false ideas. And then Prabhupada glorified him that actually I was praying for you that may Krishna, you please make this boy a nice devotee. And then Giriraj Maharaj realized, oh, that's how Prabhupada was praying for me to become a devotee. So Yes, unfortunately, in this world, munir matir bhinne. Every muni is a bhinna mati, and everyone, as you know, some uncle said this, chacha, mama, this, that, a lot of hodgepodge on the name of religion, name of God, on the name of Supreme Lord. Therefore, we have to approach nivritta tarshe upagiyamana bhavo shadat shotra manobirama. There is absolutely no doubt that the process we have received, the beautiful Krishna consciousness, is the topmost. Not because I am saying it, not because I am in this process or trying to be in this process, because all the great sages from time immemorial, Shukdev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj, all the great Mahajans, Arjuna, and the Supreme Lord, everyone has shared this, that this is no doubt the best process. So, and there are a lot of, scientific way and shastric way to refute all those, but depending upon if there is, the person is eager to receive that, right? Then only if one has openness to receive, then this message will work, right? One is not open, and then the prasadam works to purify them to receive the transcendental science. So we can give them prasadam and say, and pray for them. And soon they will also become the right recipients to receive this transcendental knowledge.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. May I add something? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. In the same thought, in chapter 9, text 11, Krishna himself he says that fools deride me when I descend in the human form. So this happens to me very often. I can't explain to people who just watch the films on Krishna and they don't believe in me. They believe I'm in the impersonal form of Krishna because they do yoga, they do meditation and all. Sometimes I just struggle to find means how to explain to them that it's not like that. So I just remember this text, fools deride me, of what Krishna himself says. Okay, back to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, that's a very relevant text by the Supreme Lord himself, 9:11. Very nice. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. The best thing with those people is not to argue too much, because and prasadam works the best. So you can just pray for them, give them some prasad and say.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So we can also tell them about some Sampradaya Mataji says like fire, and then we are also little gods like ocean and a drop, right, Prabhuji? We are Anu and he's Vibhu, and also maybe we can talk about Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan aspect of it, like sun rays and the sun, sun planet and the sun god. So that way also will it help, Prabhuji?
Absolutely, based on time, place, situation. As I said, if they have the openness to hear, then there are a lot of verses, a lot of points which can be said. But so it depends on the recipient. There's no like one size fits all. If they are repulsive, envious, and have no inclination to hear, then we don't need to waste our time and their time. If they have a little bit openness, they're a little bit inquisitive, they have some faith, maybe their understanding may not be correct, but they're open to suggestions, open to, then certainly we can communicate that these are not my words, these are words coming from the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Then we must share that. It's our duty to be Krishna conscious and spread Krishna conscious. And it takes a mature person and prayers to Supreme Lord to give the right words at the right time with the right intention. And Krishna will certainly do so, though, right? Who is Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. He will give the right buddhi and the right words in every situation, what's best. So absolutely we can share if the situation is right, if there is one is open to hear.
Just one comment. I think in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, text 67, that's where Krishna is telling Arjuna, just read the translation, this confidential knowledge will never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Yes, that's very true. The Lord is a little strict, but the devotees are a little more merciful than the Lord. Right? Because you go on the streets, we don't know whom we will meet, right? It could be an envious person. They have a hamburger in one hand, and then they may take a Bhagavad Gita in the other hand, right? So devotees know the inside of the heart. And what is the inside of the heart? Yare dekhe tare kaho Krishna upadesh. This is Lord Chaitanya, who is giving the inside secret. So yes, but at the same time, you're absolutely, we have to be mindful where to spend our time and energy. We don't want to always leave a good impression. We don't want to disturb them if they're not ready. So, and we can give them prasadam, which will make them ready next time. And a lot of people have done like that. They don't take first time they take prasad, then they become ready. Next time they come take the book. lot of people. I'm not joking or exaggerating. I'm telling the honest truth. Anyone else? Any thoughts, comments, additions before we wrap up for today?
Suppose it depends on how they think the God, because most of the religions, they said that be fearful of God. So when they look at the hot summer sun, they cannot see the sun actually because it's all the light. But we love the Krishna, who is the morning sun. We can see him clearly. The clear form is there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing that. Okay, so we'll pause here. Grantraj, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purāṇ ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta-vrinda ki jai. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripāsindubhyaiva ca patitānaṁ pāvanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo namo. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji.